Today we'll be doing the Laplace transform of the sine of t. And to start off, you could write this as an integral from 0 to infinity e to the minus st times the sine of t dt. And I use the fact that the imaginary part of e to the it is the sine of t. So this is equal to the integral from 0 to infinity e to the minus st times e to the it dt, but don't forget the imaginary part. So it's equal to the imaginary part integral from 0 to infinity e to the minus st plus it dt is equal to imaginary part integral from 0 to infinity of e to the t negative s plus I. Yeah, that checks out, dt. Now we have to integrate this function. So we have the imaginary part, 1 divided by negative s plus I e to the t power times negative s plus I, where you evaluate this from t equals 0 to t approaches infinity. And from here, we're going to multiply both sides, numerator and denominator, by negative s minus I. E raised to the t power negative s plus I, where you evaluate this from t equals 0 to t approaches infinity. So you have the imaginary part of negative s minus I. We have an s squared minus I squared e to the t power negative s plus I, where you evaluate this from t equals 0 to t approaches infinity. We have the imaginary part of negative s minus I, s squared plus 1 e to the t power negative s plus I, where t equals 0 to t approaches infinity. And this is just the real number, so this is 1 over s squared plus 1, the imaginary part of negative s minus I times e to the t negative s plus I. We evaluate this from t equals 0 to t approaches infinity. So this will be 1 over s squared plus 1, the imaginary part of negative s minus I, the limit as t approaches infinity of e to the t to the negative s plus I, minus the limit as t approaches 0 of e to the t power minus s plus I. So you have 1 over s squared plus 1, the imaginary part of negative s minus I, times as t approaches infinity, this will go to 0, and this will go to 1 e to the 0, but that's 1, so minus 1. So we have the Laplace transform of the sine of t is equal to 1 over s squared plus 1 times the imaginary part of, if you distribute this negative, we'll have a s plus I, and the imaginary part of this would just be 1. So 1 times 1 divided by s squared plus 1, so we have 1 over s squared plus 1. And this is the final result. Thank you very much for watching.